Welcome back, everybody. It's Friday, August 20th, 2021. SPY coming in hot with another freaking shoulda, coulda, woulda dip buy opportunity. It's just rinse and repeat. The last time over and over again. Every time it has some hard sell off, just BTD. And I didn't BTD. And once again, I'm here regretting not BTDing. But next time, I'll probably BTD. Other than that, housekeeping before we get going. Market internals, NASDAQ, just low dollar volume again. Only 188 billion total dollar volume. Nice see. Same thing. OTC, same thing that we've been seeing. Just kind of still hovering around in this August summer month of trading. Opportunity was out there on a few tickers. I managed my risk well today. Just cut the ones that need to be cut when they need to be cut, and maybe was a little bit aggressive for what the market is right now. But I feel like I'm certainly ready for when or if market starts to ever heat up again and these plays just start to come churning out one by one once again. So that may be something I have to look into, and dialing it back as of right now for just what this market is and what it's offering. Not trying to force everything or thinking that everything's going to work out like it normally does, or just hoping that today is some random day that everything normally does work. Because I was taking a few trades today. I had 4 different trades on 4 different tickers today. But I'll never regret the experience of being in on it. And if I'm not throwing huge, I'm not just YOLOing everything and not risking huge, insane size, I think I'm fine for that, at least right now. No short setups for me again today. Not trying to short anything hard or seeing anything that's not there, especially. I woke up a little bit angry, actually. I kind of regretted I hit the snooze button for 15 minutes, and I was just regretting that the whole time of, oh, you're an idiot. Why did you push the snooze button? Just get up and look at tickers. Why are you snoozing? And I didn't even sleep one wink that whole 15 minutes. Started off pretty bad that way, but we came right back around before market open, got down to it. First ticker I wanted to talk about, GRNQ. This was a huge, awesome percentage mover in the pre-market. Was this 100%? Yeah, from 0.7 to 1.4. Hovering around that 100% move. Fundamentals on this one. Float of 23 million on this Malaysian financial consulting and corporate services business. News catalyst today was they signed MOU to develop the world's first geo-integrated satellite network and services platform. Bowen had a funny rant on this one just about how penny stocks, these guys could probably not even get a firework in the air, let alone a satellite into space, which is probably 100% true. But we don't really care about that one way or the other. Price action was holding super well. We just had a huge spike, and even as Bowen said too in the morning prep, we kind of want this thing to slow down a little bit, let it settle out and find a consolidation range before market open, which it definitely did. I don't like getting a little starter small size when it's above VWAP, because I feel it has a greater potential or opportunity to still dump below VWAP and scare out the early longs like that position size would be, or that early entry would be in early long, just hoping for a quick squeeze or quick spike out of the open. And it did actually do a nice little dump here right under VWAP and then put a base and had a nice spike over this little initial range and then failed once again. So if anybody was watching this short or trying to push it hard immediately from the get-go, which I was initially, it was just frustrating. You got stopped out as a long. Short side, you got pulled in greatly. You're thinking, okay, this is where it is. This is the fade for the whole rest of the day, which we pretty much saw across the whole sector of the big percentage movers on the day. Pulling my trades. Come on. What are you doing? So that's what we love to see on the dip and rip type of setup, though. So and this was the absolute perfect 9:45 time frame that we're getting around to, where it's putting in the base. I'm trading this off of the tick setup. Why are you not pulling up my trades? So either way, we get, this. It's still finding its way, still sorting out bidders and sellers here at this point. And then it actually dumps below VWAP, but then ends up putting in double bottom here. Quick little double bottom, 116. So I'm watching it around that point thinking, okay, if it breaks this little double top peak here of 1, 2, 3, I definitely want in. So I traded it initially with too big of a size on this speculative new high a day claim, new market hours high a day claim around this point, which I traded the same size on this position as I did for this trade on the actual dip and rip. In hindsight, looking back, I should have... Why are you not pulling up my trades? That's so stupid. I'm frustrated by that. But it should have been because it was a speculative trade, I should have gone in with at minimum or at maximum half of the size I initially was looking to trade this trade, just because it was a speculative, looking to protect myself if it did want to start spiking immediately and never offer another chance to dip any lower for a full size entry. Because even at that point too, if it starts to rip to new highs, then at some point, if there's more upside in it, it's got to consolidate at some point and offer another opportunity to add more size if I think the trade is still there at that point for it to go higher, for more shorts to get bagged and squeezed to the upside. So learning from lessons from that, I feel like I've known that and just didn't factor that in. I think I was just having too many charts on the screen at one time. I was getting too excited, the dog chasing cars on the highway type of mentality. So ended up cutting when it broke low a day. I think might have been getting it. I got it there. Why don't you show my trades? Got it on this one, on this bounce off of VWAP as it was, little crack under, and then as it was coming back up, bought it off of that, thinking, okay, the VWAP was bought up. It's just failed to ever break VWAP, even in the pre-market. Just doesn't want to break below. You got to protect yourself for the upside, because any short that was banking on this first initial crack of VWAP, thinking, oh, the longs are going to get scared out because it hasn't ever broke VWAP yet, and jumping in at this point, they would have been all over that. But whatever. So the real trade on this one, the real awesome dip and rip opportunity, was this double bottom here. This 116 held some more, consolidated. It looked a little well here at this point. That it was slowing. It wasn't just completely down printing. It was just finding a little bit of support and a little bit of easiness from the bid and spread, from the whole spread itself. And then the bidders came stepping in and slowly just started bleeding out the shorts to the upside. Reclaimed VWAP, which was, shoulda, coulda, would have been another opportunity to add when it was able to crack VWAP to the upside. This whole curl healer was totally awesome. Was a pure, beautiful dip and rip entry as well too, or even more of an add than what I had initially at 1, 2, 3. I got, I think. Yeah, after this, you can even see on the 1 minute chart here too, this beautiful little bottom as well too. So 200 shares at 1, 2, 3. Watch it all the way here. Took off 10% at 1, 3 when we were coming in with a little bit of strength here. This volume candle was a little, this was this one, yeah. So it just literally was selling into strength at half of my position, just thinking, man, we could reject here with how slow it was curling. But we did get the speed up here at this point into a halt at 145. I almost tried to add too, thinking, man, we could get a gap up on this one into the halt, after the halt. So I was trying to add into the halt, but I didn't get filled, of course. And then we opened, which was pretty nice, at 151. And I still had 100 shares remaining and was totally willing to just let this thing ride. I thought there was way more room to the upside on this one. This thing go to $30 by the end of the trading day today, or even if it was going to hold super, super well, maybe hold it over the weekend if it was showing a lot of strength. But it ended up dumping, slamming back down, another halt to the downside, and that was it for the rest of the day. And these ones too, I got to start learning to start playing these fades, because at least for now, for the summer trading months, I don't think I'm going to be able to master it, but I certainly want to get the reps in of understanding when the selling signs are in. That's just it for the rest of the day. And I got to be willing, I got to be able to look at what the charts are telling me and not just be so biased on the long side, looking at only the dip and rip pattern. There's huge fade opportunities in the other charts I'm going to bring up too. There's so much fade opportunity on these ones to the short side that these got to start becoming part of the plan. And that's totally Jack number 2 style of trading. Number 7, he nails those, and when he gets short on all these, he left a little bit early today, but man, that's totally his style. Seeing this huge high a day breakout, reject, halt to the downside, smack below VWAP, man, that's awesome entry, especially cracking new low a days, just constant confirmation the whole way down that you are correct in your trend assessment on that one. So that was a good little win, $15 win in total after I stupidly traded it initially off of this VWAP bounce here, but set a stop wisely for my risk management on that one. Found a nice entry for the dip and rip here. Sold well. So then on my exit for the last half of my shares on this actual dip and rip, I just let it. I put a stop in at just above my entry, 125, I think my average was at that point after I sold. And after the halt, I filled at 138. I was so confused as soon as I heard the ding go off that price action didn't even come close to touching 125 where my stop was, and yet I got filled. I was very confused, and I'm kind of glad I got filled looking back at it, because I would have just taken that stop when it at such a lower price, at 13 cents less than what I got. But that was just confusing, and I still don't really know what happened on that one, but it's whatever. It worked out in the end. MRIN, huge former runner. They're still not showing my trades. So this was, Bowen was funny on this one too. This was the one that made Bowen quit pre-market preps. That was funny. Him talking about this one again. It's a Friday. It's a low floater. They had, again, this is American software company, whatever, float of 9.8 million, reported short interest of 20%. They also put out at 9:03 or 6:03 and 6:07 Eastern time a 424B5 and an effect. So I was pretty much banking on the fact that these guys are professional pump it up squeezers, and they were ready to just shoot this thing back up again and then ready to just dump it whenever they felt like at the price. So I was ready and waiting like a ninja if anything popped up, or if there was huge volume in coming to the downside on this one at any point, to be willing to get out, just parachute jump and say, okay, that's enough, because I know the danger overhead if the offering was going to come in today at least. But it just never happened. So we had this, it's a hard sell-off. It's under VWAP the whole time. It's just choppy once again. The dollar volume today was decent, $116 million volume. But it's just, I don't regret the entry. I think I love this under VWAP entry point, especially pre-market. Still not showing my trades. That's frustrating. Of easy risk levels here. That's defined. We've got a few higher lows here in this pre-market. 555, $5 whole level, 55 round $half level that are easy risk levels to set, that, hey, if it's breaking that, then I'm pretty much done with it. So I was developing a little, like 20 share position, $100 size position in the pre-market around this point, waiting for getting any squeeze back above VWAP in market hours, but also willing to risk this low a day here at such a nice risk reward opportunity. I immediately got stopped out within the first minute candle, and then was watching it still because we got a little bit of a reclaim or try for VWAP, but never reached there, and we got top wicked. And they just slammed kind of all the way back down for the rest of the day. Unfortunate to see on that former runner. It just wasn't in the cards for it today. GOVX. This is a American biotech. Checking the box there. We love the sketchiness. Super low float of 6 million. Reported short interest of 1.9%. The news was COVID-19 news after the close yesterday at European Society of Medicine General Assembly. Well, whatever. Really nice ramping in the pre-market today. Super early, but then still just kind of chopping around. A little bit of sell-offs here and there. I was trading under VWAP, so same kind of theory for the dividend rip that I did with MRIN with GOVX, that I was getting in a pretty small position size just as protection or speculation that it could just squeeze immediately, and I wanted to be in it beforehand, trading off of this nice little region or low range here of $6, $8, $7 whole level. So I had 10 shares, $70 position, just under $100 position going into market open. A little bit of sell-off, consolidated, sold off a little bit more, which stopped me out. And then I was watching this consolidation range, and it was super top wicky, which I didn't like. It obviously means that sellers are just continuing to slam any attempt to bring this thing back to the upside, right back down. But we got another little dip for another little good look. Why is it not showing my trades? Okay, so then I actually ended up sizing it a little bit more than I potentially should have on this consolidation here, thinking, okay, this could be a dip. It was way too early. I should have been waiting 9:45 time frame. Especially this consolidation range would probably have been a better bet, a higher probability if this tried to reclaim VWAP. And obviously it did try, but then just got smacked so hard back down to new low a day, and then that was just the rest of the day. So 100 shares that I had around this little consolidation range, looking for a perk back to VWAP or try for this a breakout of this little region high. But we didn't get it. And cut it when I needed to be cut. Again, maybe took too big of a position size. This was as stupid as $50 loss that I took on that one, which I shouldn't have taken. That really set my whole P&L for the day on what I was trading. But it could have gone crazy too. It's Friday. These are the low floaters. It's shown some crazy volatility in the after hours in pre-market. Just wasn't there today. Oh, SONN I wanted to mention as well too. Got absolutely smacked once again with an offering. It was offering was show me $30 million underwritten public offering at 0.85. Just super smacked. Same thing like PMCB was yesterday, a few days ago. So sad. Hashtag so sad. SGOC was then my last long trade. As Bryce too mentioned the day before too, this was totally on my watch list as well for like a third day Dan Irish type of play. It was holding decently, not a lot of volume coming in the pre-market, but we certainly were looking to play for playing off the daily. Nice big day, volume day on the 18th here, then a really nothingness day following that, and then today, coulda, shoulda, woulda. We see it spiking pretty much 3 minutes after market open. I get a position at like 615, I think I fill, and then I'm in the green pretty much immediately. And then it's holding well, and then retesting VWAP a little bit, coming back up again, putting in a little bit of higher low, but not showing huge strength that I think this play requires. This is really my first time truly playing this type of setup, so I didn't know what to expect with this. I felt I gave it plenty of room if it was going to run today. The float on this one again is 30 million, so I knew it was going to be choppy going into it because of the previous trading days, so I was willing to just take the fluctuations and inconsistency of how it wanted to trade or trend the whole day. So I felt I gave it plenty of room. I even at 615, I felt if it was going to break $6, then I definitely was going to be out. So I gave it till plenty of room here. As we were coming on this higher low here and trending closer to a new high a day, then I adjusted it to this 605 just to save myself a little bit of mental capital with that. But then it just did end up coming back to VWAP and then hard dump. I was stopped out here in this candle, which I think a lot of other people were as well at that point, and then just died the rest of the day. Hashtag again, so sad. KXIN. Man, had this one on watch yesterday for this little daily breakout for any potential move to the upside here. Wasn't looking for something crazy. This one doesn't, recently at least, it doesn't like to move insanely rapidly, which is more my speed. But I just totally missed this one of how it spiked back up, perked really just underneath this trading range here, and then kind of out of nowhere, volume coming in at 1 o'clock Eastern time. Perk back to new high a day, trading closer to this range, new high a day based on Wednesday of that day, which was the breakout I was looking for yesterday, if it was going to do that. And not really the most awesome A-plus slam dunk trade, but certainly the trade was there. You would have had to take a lot of choppiness going in, but of course, knew that beforehand with how this trigger likes to trade anyway. Just interesting to see that. Then last one, TSOI. This was the OTC overnight that Tim Sykes had from yesterday. Didn't even go red once on the day. See this. This chart makes it hard, but this is our day break here where it closed yesterday. Nice immediate morning spike right after the bell. I don't know where Tim sold in here, but obviously for a little bit of a profit, not close to a 10%, but that's a decent little overnight hold there for really doing nothing for a trade. You just buy it and sell it. And that's all it really took. And then just the whole rest of the day, nice grind to the upside. New breakouts all across the way. Intraday, especially to levels, trading a breakout was probably the proper trade on this one, but then hard sell-off. Pull back to VWAP, and I was just kind of blah into the close. So that's all I had. $50 down day, but still good lessons going in for trades in the future. The GRNQ dip and rip was just awesome, and I now know beforehand of what I like to do with my position sizing in the speculation early spike just as a protection. If it wants to go without me, then I am actually with it beforehand, but I'm still ready and prepared like a tiger to leap on it if it does provide that awesome dip base and then rip to the upside to squeeze out those shorts. That was just an awesome example. That's one I highlighted in my charts as well too. I'll go over at the end of the month in the monthly recap. But yeah, just focusing on maintaining the discipline and understanding. I think today was a great example too, that you can't just continue to do the same type of thing in each and every market, each and every season of the market, because it just doesn't work. Like today, the fade was totally in play, and I've not played the fade, the all day fade to the short side. I've never even considered it, but I've certainly, obviously for especially the summer months, I got to start looking into that, because that's kind of a bigger, the millionaire, the red name types of trades, because they have the account size to do it. They have the day trades to do it. Well, we're still stuck with a cash account and the day trade restrictions. It's hard to try to do that with all these big percentage movers, and especially with shorting, because it's all about timing. Even if I do have a nice risk reward setup and I barely get peaked over to a new high of day, then I get screwed out of a day trade. But like a few minutes later, it could still provide the same opportunity, but I'm screwed over because I can't get back in within my day trades. But it's whatever. It's a process, and I'm excited to keep going on it. It's, again, the P&L really does not matter. I'm not YOLOing or losing crazy amounts, but still gaining a lot of valuable information and nailing the trades as they come. I've shifted away from just blindly chasing big percentage movers, just thinking I can show up and blindly press buy the bid, just rocking myself on all these big percentage movers. I've evolved from that, and this slower market has taught me so much about that. I'm so thankful for that opportunity. So I thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys all have a great weekend. I will catch you guys on the next one.